Hey guys, it's 𝗧𝗛𝗡𝗏𝗡𝗚 here, and welcome back to another build challenge. So unfortunately, as you can tell from the title of today's video, we will be exploring the very wonky world of curved walls in The Sims 4. Honestly, it's not really a tool I use a lot in my builds, but for today's challenge, I will be designing a house in the shape of an infinity loop. Other than the shape of the house, I don't really have any other build restrictions, but I will push these curved walls as much as possible, and hopefully see how far they've come in The Sims 4 over the past couple years. Alright, so starting things off, we are in the world of Windenburg, and I'm on a pretty sizable lot. This is a 40 by 30 lot. And of course, here we go, you guys, the very infamous curved walls coming into action. And to be honest, I don't even know if this is going to come out correctly, but I'm going to do my very best with this build. Alright, so we're going to have two larger segments like this, kind of like half circles, just like so. And at some point, they're going to have to meet in the middle and kind of twist through, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work. Ooh, I also have to cut out circular rooms within them, so this is going to get a little tricky. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Can I even cut them out from this room? It's not really looking like it, you guys. Okay, if I do the really big room, I can do something like this, and then hopefully cut it out with a smaller sectional just like this. Alright, so I can do this just like so, and hopefully knock out these external walls. Boom, 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 and boom. Oh, whoa, not what I wanted. Alright, so things have not changed very much in this game whatsoever. And honestly, that is sad. I'm not really sure how I'm going to get rid of this wall. I can kind of close it in like this and then try to delete the walls around it, but automatically that curved wall is going away. All right, let's try it again. Let's go like this. I can actually delete it. Is it going to be okay? I think it will be. If I delete this area, though, it goes with it. So I may actually have to keep this little area of tile. It's not really what I wanted to do, but if it is the only way we can create this build, then so be it. Okay, so we got a piece of the puzzle down. Let me delete these rooms and move that piece down. All right, so here we go. I will copy this over like so. And I think about here is not too bad. Invalid rounded room? What is wrong with it, you guys? Okay, maybe like this. I think this is a workaround. Now, the hard part is the infinity loop actually has to cross over itself and then come back up. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I can try to curve some pieces together, but I don't really think they're going to function the way I would like them to. It would have to be something like this, and maybe another piece over here like so, and then have it wrap up like this. All right, delete the roof. Yes, okay, not too bad. We do have to twist somewhere over here, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. I can do one more over here just like this, and then hopefully reflect one at the bottom as well. Okay, we have a circle. It wasn't really my intention, but we do have a circle, so let me see what we're working with here. I could try copying this part over like this, and maybe connecting it this way. All right, if not, I could delete this section like so, and maybe this one too, and maybe create a diagonal room instead. I'm not really sure if that's going to work. Okay, so if we do this, we do have room to do an intersection over here, which is okay, I guess. Maybe I can do a curved wall connecting them, perhaps. I really wanted this curved wall to work, you guys, but it just doesn't look like it wants to cooperate. Okay, can we get a roof here? I think we can. Maybe I will connect the rooms at about this point, just like so, and then attach the circular rooms once more. Oh, it does not register as a room. That is not good, you guys. I'm not really sure what we can do here because it simply is not letting me roof this area. Maybe if I add some kind of fencing on top, maybe this will actually register. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is so glitchy right now. I can kind of click up here, but it's not really registering what I'm trying to do. All right, let me try using perhaps a rounded platform to see if we can get this to work. And hopefully this will actually turn into a real room. I don't think it's cooperating, you guys. I don't really know what to do here. It's part of our infinity loop. We could make it into a possible courtyard if we can't really do a proper roof. So let me try this out and see where this takes us. All right, same thing with this piece. You are roughly 3 tiles in like so. And then I think I can move these over fairly easily. Okay, it's almost there. The shape is almost there, you guys, but for some reason, these curves are just really bothersome. I'm gonna see if I can try to modify them just a little bit to see if we can keep more of those circular walls in place. Invalid rounded room. It's not what I want to hear, but this could do the trick. I could do a rounder piece like this. Honestly, you guys, this is looking more like the number 8, which is not really what I'm going for. So unfortunately, I think we will have to work with the diagonal pieces. All right, do I need to pinch this more in the middle? Maybe I do. I'm not really sure why this isn't working out. I can try and stretch these circular areas as well, just so they're not so number 8-like, if that makes sense. And for some reason, my room is missing. I don't really know what is happening here. I can try deleting more walls to see if this resolves the issue, but unfortunately, it's just leaving them behind. Sims, why do you do this to me? You know, you guys, in my head, this was going to be so cool, but the limitations of this game are quite frustrating. I just can't really get a tighter section on the inside. I can go a little bit harsher like this. What I think I could actually do is create more diagonal rooms on the inside and really sell the idea of an infinity symbol versus just the number 8. So I could do something like this and have it overlap just a little bit. That could be really cool. Same thing on this side. I can probably go to about here and have that intersection just like so. Now I will say, for some reason, you guys, I really wanted this house on stilts, and that may be really weird, but I think I may actually give it a go. So let me go ahead and click this. I will raise the foundation up. Ooh, we have a lot of glitches going on over here. Curved walls, you leave so much to be desired here. One thing we could do to try and smooth out the build is actually add some kind of wall piece on top. I think that could help just a little bit. I know for a fact that I can do all of these angular areas, and then the curves come and it's just a complete mess after that. So not really sure what I'm going to do there, you guys. All right, all of these are in place, but what do I do now, you guys? I can do this, but for some reason, the rooms are simply not registering. So I guess maybe I could create a ceiling over here, maybe? Okay, we have a large piece over here, so it's something like this. That does fit roughly to where I need it to be. And then another one here as well. Okay, let's bring these over. So just like this, perfect. Okay, we deleted a lot of the ceiling, but it looks like I can actually remove this area and hopefully bring it back. No, I can't bring back the ceiling? What is going on, you guys? This game is a mess. Oh, the ceiling is back? What? Okay, what am I doing wrong here, you guys? This is just I don't even know the word. This is a disaster, you guys. I don't really know what is going on here. I just wanted to add some simple roof pieces up top. Okay, let me try this again. I can use a platform. I don't know if that will help with the issue I'm running into. So let me try doing something like this and then applying the wall just like so. Let me try and delete this area over here. And we do have a little bit of clearance, so that is actually not too bad. I think that's the best I can do, unfortunately, because working around these glitches is difficult. It's a test of patience, I will say. Why does this not work? Sims 4, you have doomed me with this challenge. You guys, I'm just not getting the curved fences over here. I really wish I could actually place it on top of this wall. If there is a method to do so, it's certainly not very user-friendly. So unfortunately, I think we will have to use these for the time being. On a side note, I do want to bring back some of those platforms. I think this time they will work and hopefully be not as glitchy, perhaps. All right, we will bring back these lovely stilts from the Snowy Escape pack. And I think it's actually elevating the look of this build. Pun not intended. All right, guys, so I made an executive decision. We are not continuing this build in Windenburg. We're actually going to take this build and then move it into the world of Sulani. So I think this could be a very cool modern beach house. So I will be back in just a few seconds, but we will continue with this build. All right, and here we are, you guys. I think this is looking a lot more fun, and I do see the vision coming together. What I'm actually going to do is just resituate the entire build because it is a little bit off-centered, so hopefully just shift it over just like this. I do also want to find a nice wall swatch. So I'm thinking island living could do the trick. We do also have these lovely pieces from the Eco Lifestyle pack if we want to do something like this. Let me go for a darker brown this time. I think this could be a really nice contrast. Ooh, we do have the opportunity to do some very interesting courtyard moments here. I think that could be pretty interesting. All right, I do want to create a little tiny deck over here, so let me go ahead and create that. I will not keep the ceiling or this wall over here because I still want to maintain roughly that infinity loop shape, if that makes sense. All right, let's do a lovely walkway up here. All right, my favorite wood swatch. Here we go, you guys. It is, in fact, Eco Lifestyle, and I'm not afraid to admit that I use this quite often because, quite frankly, I think it looks pretty cool. All right, you know what, you guys? I'm taking a break on the structure. It's been very challenging getting this right, but I do want to see how this build will turn out if I start furnishing it. So let me get a few pieces down, especially for the main door and also the windows. Honestly, we're probably going to run into more issues with these curved walls, but I will do my best, you guys. I will do my very best. All right, same thing over here. And fortunately, these are pretty nice options. I do think I like some of those more flowery motifs, maybe something like this. I am thinking larger windows going along this area, so it will be a lovely view of the ocean. I can go ahead and use these options again from the Eco Lifestyle pack. All right, you guys, it's not really a full view, but I think in the confines of The Sims 4, this should probably suffice. I will leave it at that. All right, I do have to see how these rooms are going to connect. I do want some kind of nice door, maybe something like this. Do we have a lighter tone? Yes, we do. That is actually pretty cool. Let me use this over here, and I will also add another one along this space as well. Not really sure what these rooms are going to be just yet, but they do add a nice entryway. I'm going to be a little bit more adventurous and explore some darker brown tones here. Obviously, these rooms do not recolor in the way they should, but we will do the very best we can with the limitations of this game. All right, can we fix these two courtyard areas? I do believe we can. We do have the option to use some sand just like this, so that is a possibility. Or we could do some luscious grass from the Eco Lifestyle pack, which honestly, I think I am feeling right now. Do we have a nice sliding door option? Yes, we do. We could do something like this. Do we have a way to the top deck? I'm not really sure. I didn't really think about that. But perhaps we can slide one in somewhere. Unfortunately, I know we don't really have diagonal stairs, but I can try to see what we do have available. Funny enough, you guys, we can actually create an entrance from the courtyard, which I honestly don't really mind too much. I think I will match it with this option and, of course, add in a railing. Going back outside, I do want to work on some of the landscaping, so I'm actually going to pull a lot of the same foliage from the Island Living pack, so perhaps a few of these lovely palm trees could do the trick. Ooh, I do really love those stone pieces as well, so let me dig them up out of the debug catalog. Ooh, we do have these very interesting options, which I can actually resize. I could do maybe something like this and really increase the scale of it, just like so. Thankfully, we do have a lot of lovely options from the Island Living pack that aren't necessarily in debug, so I can just pull these lovely plants just like so. Normally, I would love my hedges here, but the tropical vibes are just not fitting for hedges, so this will do instead. All right, here we go with some nice flowers. I'm going to scatter them around this area just like this. Ooh, I could bring in some jungle adventures as well. Maybe a few of these towards the front entrance area. I'm going to use a little bit more of jungle adventure here and sort of make it look like these plants are crawling up the palm tree, if that makes sense. Ooh, I totally forgot some railings. This is not a safe build, you guys. It is not safe. But let me see what we do have available. I think I will pull from the Spa Day pack once more. Ooh, I do see we have a very weird interaction over here. So if that is the case, unfortunately, I do think I will have to say goodbye to this door because it's going to be a little bit too big. Could we do maybe something like this instead, kind of matching with the Spa Day aesthetic? Now, I do want to finish off the outside with a nice modern walkway, so I'm going through debug to find my favorite stepping stones. Let me scale up this option and then create a few more going down the lot itself. Of course, we also need a mailbox and a trash can, so let me get those momentarily. All right, I think we can go with the get together mailbox just like this, and then the Island Living trash can possibly in the all white swatch just like this, and I think that should do the trick. All right, we're finally getting to the inside of this build, and it is chaos, you guys. I'm not really sure where to even start here. Okay, so I think I want the kitchen and dining room on the left side. So what I'm actually going to do is swap some of these objects around. I'm going to move the grand entrance over here and then move this window back over on this side. All right, I'm going to move the staircase over here as well. And I think this side will be mostly dedicated to bedrooms and possible study areas. All right, for the kitchen. I do see that we have some space over here that we can work with, so let me see what we have available. We are thinking beachy, but we are also modern, so let me see if we can use maybe some of these island living counters. Placement is very wonky, you guys. I'm not really sure what is even snapping or not snapping. That is a little bit trippy. I kind of lose it about here, so that is a little bit strange. I could try to make maybe a wall over here. I don't know if that's going to resolve the situation. But if not, I can create a little closet over on this side. All right, counters, can you work with me this time? I sure hope so. Even still, we're kind of having to drag it over awkwardly, which is not ideal, but it may have to do. Can you snap, please? Please snap onto the surface. All right, I do have to float it in place, which is not ideal, but it should do the trick over here. And can we find better matching tones, perhaps? No, I can't select it anymore? My goodness, these curved walls are a nightmare, you guys. I'm not really sure what to do here. It looks like as soon as I place something down, I can no longer select it. So this is a whole nother challenge that I was not ready for. I could use maybe this swatch just like this, and I will add a smaller piece to the side as well. Okay, we do have a place for the fridge. That's not too bad. I can squeeze it in maybe in this little area just like this, and just hope and pray it snaps into place. Again, I am locked out. I don't know what to do, you guys. I guess undo for now and commit? Oh, goodness. I'm going to warn you guys. I don't think this design is going to be extravagant because this build is so glitchy. It's looking decent in my opinion, but the hurdles I have to jump through are insane right now. All right, can we place a sink down? I don't even think we can. All right, can I delete the counter? It doesn't look like I can, you guys. It doesn't look like I can. Oh, there we go. There we go. I have the counter. I do need a stove that will match, so I'm going to put my money into this one, and then we will need a standalone sink because the sink was not snapping to the counter either, so it's been very problematic so far. You know, I don't really mind the brown too much. I mind this clipping, yes, but the brown is not too bad, so I think we will leave it as is. Let me see if I can find some hanging pots and pans. All right, probably something like this, and right above the stove would be absolutely perfect. We do need some lighting in here as well. And I think for the time being, we do have some pretty nice options. The lighting is also still off, which I'm not really sure how I can fix. I can try to section off this room like this. It's gonna be a workaround. It's not really, again, a nice curving infinity loop, but you know what? Again, we have to work with what the game gave us. And it's not very much, you guys. At least for curved walls, it's not very much. Honestly, I do like these options from Island Living, but they're soaring high in this build, and I just can't really get them to snap lower. I can get a few on this side and maybe this side as well. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit sparse in terms of lighting. All right, I will change out the kitchen sink because it wasn't really fitting the style. Let me try using an option potentially from Parenthood, and hopefully this will do the trick here. Can we cover up this awful glitching? I don't really know, you guys. I don't really have anything in mind to cover it up. I'm going to leave it for now, just like many other parts of this build, but hopefully we will get this to work. I could also create a little bit of a bar area as well. So let me select this. I could even try an angled bar if I managed to put it into the wall, which it's kind of a challenge, but I think it could actually work. I do want that lovely fruit bowl that came with the Parenthood pack, so let me see where that is. I am kind of bugged out by the clipping issue over here, which of course is due to the round walls. So I'm not really sure what to do about that aspect of the build. Could we get some nice curtains over here? I sure hope we can. I'm thinking we could use some options from Eco Lifestyle, maybe something like this. Could we do some kind of shelving unit over here? I sure hope so. We do have this object, which is actually pretty nice. It does snap very high up though, so that's a little bit problematic. Honestly, I'm glad that we can place rugs in general over here because it was honestly looking pretty scary. Could I actually use this as a divider? I sure hope I can. Could I actually wedge it in over here in the wall? Yes, that's not too bad. We do need a trash can in this space as well, so I'll probably just use this option from the Snowy Escape pack, and I think more or less we are set with the kitchen area. Alright, logically speaking, I think the dining room could possibly be maybe in this space. I will have to deviate from my plan a little bit, but I think it'll have to do. The dining room table will probably go diagonally this way to fit the curvature of the room itself. So let me see what options we have available and go from there. I do like this option from Eco Lifestyle. It does fit with the rest of the house. Ooh, we could actually size up something like this from base game. This is actually not a bad option at all. Could we get some kind of nice chandelier perhaps? I think this room can definitely benefit from it. Ooh, we have some really cool options here. I'm thinking we could even do Desert Luxe. All right, let us get some dining chairs in place, and I think something like this could actually do the trick. Honestly, you guys, I'm kind of alt placing them because they simply are not snapping, so if you do attempt this build at home, gameplay ability might be an issue here. Oh, I really love these bamboo pieces. They're honestly so nice, you guys. I think I will incorporate them over here and maybe create some kind of accent table along this wall with a nice painting. I'm actually going to use the smaller option instead, and I think that will do the trick there. Oh, I forgot I have to recolor it first. Otherwise, it's an absolute nightmare, but here we go. All right, and for the wall art, we could do some more eco lifestyle here and have a very cool design. So maybe something like this along the wall. It's not snapping, you guys. That is a big issue. For regular paintings, let me see if that is also an issue. And it looks like it is, unfortunately. That is not good. All right, if not, I could possibly place this object on top of the small accent table, and that could be our painting. That could be our painting, you guys. Okay, I think we are safe on the dining room space. I'm afraid to touch anything else, otherwise things will probably break in this build, so I think we are good there. Alright guys, so I think this could be the bedroom space over here. What I'm actually going to do is create a little 3x1 bathroom in this little room, just like so. Starting off, we do need the shower from Snowy Escape, so there we go. I think I will go with the possibly tiny living toilet, just to really maximize the space here. And of course, the handy dandy toilet paper roll. This time around, I'm thinking I could actually do this object from Seasons as our bathroom sink. And to close things off, do we have the Snowy Escape mirror? Yes, we do. And it actually sits at an appropriate height. If only the paintings did the same. Tile would be nice in this space, so I will try to see what options we do have available. Ooh, I really like this option from 𝗧𝗛𝗡𝗚. I don't think I've actually ever used this, surprisingly. I'm going to break up the color scheme just a little bit and go with this option, and also find a mashing floor. Let me do a simple towel probably along the wall over here, and I think that should wrap up the space. All right, we now move on to the master bedroom, and I immediately want to get rid of this really glitchy area. So let me see if I can repurpose some kind of accent table to cover that up. The bed could actually go along that wall as well. So let me see what we have to work with. Ooh, I really like this city living option. I could kind of skew it on an angle like so. The problem is, will it situate? Probably. Scoochie in here. We need to cover up EA's problems. Here we go. All right, the nightstands are also going to be a little bit hard to place, but I think we can do it. I'm thinking we could do island living and squeeze it in this little corner just to cover up that weird moment. We do still need a nice area rug as well. And kind of playing off the bathroom's color scheme, I do want a nice pop of oceanic blue, if that makes sense. Okay, and I think we can actually pull from the tiny living pack wherever you are. All right, here you are, perfect. And I will do this nice blue tone and hopefully situate you where you need to be. Better yet, I may actually place it at the front of the bed itself. So something like this is not too bad. And I'll kick it on a slight angle just like this. Could we actually use the eco lifestyle mirror? Yes, we can. That is actually perfect. Probably could be a nice cozy place to put on your shoes and get ready for the day. All right, perfect. There's one and there is two. Perfect. I do love me some Seasons lamps. I can probably fit the dresser along this wall over here, and something fairly horizontal will be fine as well. All right, can we get in there? I think we can. And can I carefully turn you? Yes, perfect. Not too bad. Let us add some books over here, just like so. All right, just a little bit of clutter on the table, and I think we should be good to go over here. All right, so moving over here, I actually want to create another bedroom, and I think this one will actually be a children's bedroom. So let me recreate what I did with the other space and create another small bathroom over on this side. All right, can I copy it over to make my life easier? I sure hope so. This build has been super difficult so far, but here we go, and it worked. Perfect. All right, maybe a small bookcase in the corner because I do want to fill that small void there. I'm thinking this option from the Parenthood pack, but I do have to carefully alt place it in this little nook. This space will probably hold 2 children, so let me find a nice area rug and go from there. Honestly, I really like this Kinder-made rug. It does have some very nice aqua tones in it, so something like this could do the trick. All right, we're going to do 2 single sleeper beds, and for options, we actually have quite a few interesting ones. Oh, this is so cute. I really like this option, and I don't think I've actually used it before, so let me use this. I will use 2 of these from the Eco Lifestyle pack. We also do need a nightstand in this space, so let me see what we have available. This could work from the Tiny Living pack, something like this right in the middle of both beds. All right, my favorite lamp, you guys. You know what it is, more than likely, and it is the Infant Update lamp, which is just so sweet. The question is, will it snap? I sure hope so. And will it? Not really. I do have to kind of bump it up manually with the 9 and 0 keys, but alas, there it is. All right, we do need some toys in this space because it is a little bit drab in here. I'm thinking we can do some kind of crafting table. I know the kids have a lot of activity tables in this game. Oh, I love this book object, but is it going to fly high? Not really, surprisingly. It is a little dark in this room for some reason. I may use something like this just to kind of be an overhead light perhaps, and possibly squeeze it in just like so. Oh, we did have room for a dollhouse. All right, there we go. It's a little big, but it actually fits in place. And I will bring in that chair once more, that little bear armchair from the base game. All right, you guys, moment of truth. Can I actually put some decorations on the wall without them going haywire? Maybe? Oh, they're way too high again, and I just can't do anything about it. I do not have tool mod, so fixing this is not going to happen. At the very least, I can put a few more toys down in the corner area, so I think that is the best I can do with this space. All right, guys, we have a few smaller spaces left in this build. One of them is actually going to be a small study area, so let me go ahead and work on this. Honestly, I'm in love with these Eco Lifestyle objects, you guys. They just fit so well with this build, so here we go once more. And let me find a computer and chair to complete the look. Let's go ultra modern with the city living option and another chair to match the desk itself. All right, we do need a standing lamp here for sure, and I think I will go with the city living option. Apart from this, we do have a little bit of room for a bookcase, so we could have a smaller one over here by the door. That's not too bad of an option. Let us do this hanging object from the Tiny Living pack, probably along the wall over here like this. We do, of course, need a little bit of clutter on this desk, so I do go for my favorite open notebook if you are in here somewhere. Ooh, we do need a nice cozy rug, perhaps something from Snowy Escape if I size it up just like so, and maybe in a blue tone. That could be kind of interesting. And I think this is pretty much it for the office area. You do get a nice, beautiful view of the ocean, which I am very envious of. All right, executive decision again, you guys. I actually really enjoy this wallpaper that was used in the bathroom, so I do want to see if I can actually incorporate it in the kitchen as well. I'm thinking I can actually use it just on this wall along the appliances and have that as a nice contrast to the brown panels. Ooh, yeah, I don't really mind that too much. It's a little bit bold, but I think it actually works there. All right, last up for the main internal spaces. We do have this little tiny awkward room over here, which I think could be a possible sitting area for the dining room itself. Maybe you have some guests over and things aren't exactly ready yet, but this could be a nice area for them to wait just outside. Chairs probably will have to go along this window. It's not really the most ideal, but I think it'll do. Let us get another accent table between them and maybe some books to read in the meantime. Honestly, there's not really room for too much in this space, but I think a nice plant in the corner can finish off the room. So let me grab this option over here, and I think we should be all set. All right, we still have the large hallway. But there's really not too much to furnish in that space. I will add in a few curtains though, because we are missing them in select spaces. All right, entrance rug, here we go, perfect. Coat rack, we can probably squeeze into the side, so let me get that object really quickly. All right, another shoe rack over here to complete this area, and possibly some more of those bamboo plants because they are pretty small. They don't take up a lot of room, so I think they could be kind of scattered along the hallway itself. All right, we have 2 courtyards left. For this space, I will probably create some kind of outdoor area for the family. So let me see what we do have available. Ooh, better yet, we can create a garden space in this area. So let me see what we do have available. I could do some vertical gardens from the Eco Lifestyle pack. We do have room for plenty of these little planter boxes as well from base game, which I think could go along the wall, probably over here. All right, can we fake a small walkway? Perhaps? Oh yes, my favorite options over here. They are absolutely perfect, you guys. Gives the illusion of a garden, even though it isn't quite one. It was cut off a little bit by the glitch, but I think we are all set. More vertical gardens, yes, why not? They are fully growing in comparison to these, which you can actually use. Let us do a hose in the corner, because we do need to water our beautiful plants. All right, and a trash can just for good measure. And I think this pretty much completes the garden area. Going back over here, unfortunately, the staircase is huge, so there's not really too much space we can work with, but I will put a few more stepping stones in that area. Ooh, this actually could be a really nice storage area, so let me go ahead and fit in this little shelving unit from the Eco Lifestyle pack. This family would probably have some bicycles as well, which I can put under the stairs just like this. All right, we are now onto the lovely roof area. And I think I do want to end this on a simpler note because the inside was pretty hard to put together. The curved rooms and everything were just very unkind to me. So this could be just a nice, simple place to relax out in the sun. I did go ahead and add in some lounge chairs. I do want some nice area rugs beneath them as well. All right, let's bring in some of these big, beautiful plants from the Eco Lifestyle pack. I'm going to scatter them roughly around the build just to give more foliage to the roof itself. Ooh, some nice umbrellas up here. That would be wonderful. And I'm thinking we could use the options from Seasons just like so. A few chairs overlooking the ocean could be really nice here. So let me use this option from the Island Living pack. I'm going to use these really tiny accent tables, which I really do enjoy. And these are, of course, from base game as well. And I'll probably pair them with the sparkling water or soda option from the Eco Lifestyle pack. Unfortunately, I don't really know what they're called. Finishing off the space, I do think that a nice outdoor bar could do the trick. So I'm probably going to use maybe this option from base game and place it in just like so. I'm going to pull from the Desert Luxe kit for the 2 bar stools. And I will also add in some taller plants to the sides as well. All right, guys, so we are essentially done with the Infinity Loop house. I will say that curved walls are still an absolute nightmare in this game. There are tons of bugs and glitches that you can still see, and placing objects is just not easy at all. But overall, I still enjoyed how this house came out. Looking at the inside, the layout is pretty crazy, I will say, but it does stay true to the Infinity Loop symbol, if that makes sense. We essentially started off with the kitchen area, which was fairly simple. We did squeeze in a very nice kitchenette over here. So we do have all of the essentials with the fridge kind of tucked away in the corner over here with a nice bar area as well. Just mind that little bit of clipping that was completely not my fault. Moving away from the kitchen, we did transfer into the dining room space. So it is a little bit farther down the hall, but it is nicely situated. You do get a nice view of the beach, just like so. And honestly, I loved the combination of the Eco Lifestyle pack with the Desert Luxe kit as well. Unfortunately, the paintings were super glitchy and I could not situate them in place, but we did make do with this Eco Lifestyle object paired with some spade bamboo as well. We now pass the little sitting room area and we do pass the hallway once more, and we go back into the master bedroom space, which honestly is probably one of my favorite spots. It has a beautiful view of the ocean, and I do love the blue color scheme in this space as well. I tried to cover up that glitching once more, but it was honestly very hard to do. So please excuse the glitches of the curved walls, you guys. But we do finish off this area with a little sort of dressing nook just like that. and the very tiny 3x1 bathroom, which does have all of the essentials within it. Moving back out, we do have a view of this lovely little cozy office space, which does have a very envious view of the ocean, which honestly I would not mind at all. But of course, we are leaving it behind. There was one more bedroom space, and this was the children's bedroom, which honestly was a lot of fun. I definitely used a combination of base game with eco lifestyle for most of these objects, and thankfully it is loaded with activities for your younger Sims. Of course, some more glitching, but yeah. I did my best, you guys. I did my best. And of course, we do have a little 3x1 bathroom here as well, replicated from the other side. Moving on, the courtyards are fairly simple. This is the courtyard leading to the upper floor. It just has some storage and some bicycles there as well. But of course, we have another courtyard down here, and this is actually going to be a full garden area. So you do have some vertical gardens your Sims can use here, and also some base game planter boxes along the wall as well. Of course, finishing off the build is this massive upper floor, which is honestly a very relaxing space. We do have some lounge chairs towards the right and left sides with some umbrellas for shade. We do have seats overlooking the ocean, and of course a little base game bar as well if you want to entertain company. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this challenge. I will say that this build was way trickier than I thought because, of course, I underestimated the glitchiness of curved walls. But here we are, this is the end result, and overall, I am actually pretty happy with it. As always, you guys are welcome to let me know how I did with this build. Did you like how it turned out, or could I have done things a little bit differently? With that being said, please feel free to share your ideas for other build challenges. It doesn't really matter if it's weird, wonky, or super difficult. I'm honestly open to anything. With that said, I will catch you all in the next build challenge. And of course, just like always, this has been 𝗪𝗓𝗏𝗡𝗚 signing off. Thank you so much for watching, guys.